Hey, what's up guys? So in this video I'm going to talk about the licenses regarding POD or the print on demand on this platform called CreativeFabrica.com, and I have talked about this graphics marketplace or the fonts marketplace in previous videos on this channel, and I have discussed the licenses as well. But in this video I'm going to try to make it simple, the difference between the two print on demand type licenses that you will be seeing on this platform. And these two licenses are called full POD license and the basic POD license. And hopefully along the way I'll also share with you some tips on how to use the graphics that you download or purchase from this platform. So if you are interested in that, let's get started. So when you are surfing this website or trying to find the graphics that you require for your designs, you come across three type of situations. The first situation is that when you find the graphics in the free category like this one, and they suggest that all of our freebies come with our commercial license, and in the bracket they have mentioned that it is a basic POD license. Now I will describe the difference between the two later on, but let's just move on to the second situation. The second situation is when you are trying to download the graphic and you find something like this, but there is no mention of POD license or something like that. Instead, in the usage you will see that they include the commercial license, and they just say that you can read more about that here. And the third situation is that when you find some graphics, and in addition to the normal price of the graphics, you will also see a link below that will say that need full POD license. So if you click that, you will be able to get the full POD license. But the question is, what is the difference between the two, the basic POD and the full POD? Now if we check this licenses page on this marketplace, you can see there are two main licenses, the subscription license and the single purchase license or single sale license. And I would recommend that if you're not a regular seller or a top business class type of thing, then you should stick with the single license. So if I just click view here, so this page opens up, and in the details we can cover each and everything, but just I would stick to the basic license summary and then the difference between the basic POD and the full POD usage. So the basic license summary, if I just summarize it even further, you can read more about it, and I'll put the link of this license page in the description below. So if I just summarize it, it simply means that you can use it for your print on demand stuff and other things, and but the only thing that they don't want you to use this for is that you include them in some kind of digital download type of products. So you cannot use these things to create those digital products and put them for sale in the form of digital copies, not in the form of physical products, just in the form of digital copies. So you can read the details here. So that is just the summary of this basic license. Then if we move down and move to this basic POD license, so the basic POD license simply means that you can again use these graphics and fonts to create your print on demand design, but they don't want you to use the graphics as it, which means that you need to change the graphics. And I have already made a video on this channel in which I have described in details how you can use and how you should use the graphics that you get as freebies from different marketplaces or from public domain marketplaces. So make sure that you check that out, and I'll put the link to that video in the card above. Now let's get back to this basic POD usage. And in the basic POD usage, as I've already said, they don't want you to use these graphics as it, which means that you need to change it. And if we just scroll down, you can see the explanation of this license in the visual form. And they say that if, for example, you download this graphic, they do not want you to use this graphic as it on any product, on any print on demand product. What they want like you to do is to add some kind of elements, some kind of color changes and your own elements to this graphic. And in addition to that, they also don't want you to mix two or more than two products together to create something new, which means that, for example, you have downloaded this graphic and another graphic, so you cannot mix the two graphics together to create something new. They want you to create something from your own, to have something, your own creativity in it, to have some design element or anything, maybe texture or something of your own to include in that design, and only that you will be able to come under this license. Otherwise you will be violating this license. Now what happens if you don't have time to create your own graphics, create your own design, and you just want to get some design, purchase some product, download it, and then upload it on the print on demand website, just sell it as it. In that case you will be needing the full print on demand license, and full print on demand license simply prohibits you that you provide those graphics or those elements, design elements, as it in the form of digital downloads. So you can see that in all of these three type of license, the basic POD, the full POD, and the general license, it suggests that you should not sell these designs or fonts or other things in the form of digital downloads. This is the main, you can say, the crux or the core concept of these licenses. Now let me share some tips regarding the use of graphics or finding graphics or purchasing the graphics from this marketplace. Okay, the first case scenario is that when you are downloading the free designs or the freebies from this marketplace, and as I've already said, they come under the basic POD, and there is no full POD license for the freebies. So guys, keep in mind that when you are getting these graphics as freebies or downloading the free stuff, you are not allowed to use these designs, even they are full t-shirt design, like this one. This is a complete t-shirt design, there is no need to change anything. You are not allowed to use these designs as it. What they would require from you to change it, add your own elements. So for example, in this case, you can change the fonts and change the colors of these things, these bars behind it, and in addition to these elements, you can also add your own elements. And remember that those added elements should not be the ones that you purchase from this marketplace or any other marketplace. Those added elements should be your own, the ones that you yourself has created. So this is the first tip. The second tip is that if you come across these type of designs in which you do not see any kind of license, and they just mention that it includes the commercial license, so that simply means that the author of this thing or the designer of these graphics did not want you to use the full POD on these type of designs on this thing. So it means that in this case, when you do not see the full POD license, you are allowed to use these designs, these graphic elements in your print on demand designs only in the case when you add your own graphic elements to it, change the colors, add your own design elements to it, and then you will be able to sell it. So this is the second tip. Now let's move on to the third tip. The third tip is that when you see these kind of design elements in which you are seeing the basic price and there is also a link to the full POD license. So in these kind of cases, I would suggest that if you want to use these things, because they are already, you can say, a perfect kind of illustration, there is no need to change in it. So either they are PNG images, they are not vector, so they are PNG graphics. So in that case, you should buy the full POD license. And I'll just click here just to show you that difference of price between the two licenses. So 4.75 is the basic license, and if I click here, you see that the full POD license is 6.18. So there is just a little bit price difference between the two licenses. So I would recommend that in these kind of cases you should buy the full POD license, just to make sure that you are using these under the legal terms and under the legal license terms of this marketplace. Now another fourth tip and the last tip of this video I would suggest is that when you are getting patterns, not the graphic elements or the sets of graphic elements, instead you are getting patterns. Let me just go to the graphics and click here this option called patterns. So when you are trying to buy the repeating patterns or repeating designs, especially the repeating patterns, and for example like this one, this black, white and gold floral digital pattern, or let's say this floral pattern, let me just click here. So when you are buying these digital patterns, you should not buy it as it, and instead you should only buy the full POD license. There is no option, I would say, that you should choose the basic POD license, because if you are going to use these patterns as it, for example any kind of all over print product on Redbubble or any other platform, You can use these patterns as it, you do not need to change it. And in this case I would suggest just buy the full POD license, not the basic POD license, because if we go back to the licenses, and here in the basic POD license they say that upload the patterns on POD sites. So which means that if you download the graphics as a repeating pattern or a seamless pattern, you cannot use that repeating pattern as it on the POD sites. You need to change those patterns, add your own elements to it, add your own graphics or maybe colors to it, and definitely change something in it. And in my opinion, if you are downloading a repeating pattern, that is already a complete product. You do not really need to add any kind of design element or graphic element. So just buy the full POD license and save time and save the hassle of editing these designs. Because first of all, these designs are not in vector, they are already in PNG, and it is quite difficult to mess with these repeating patterns in the form of PNG or JPEG images. Because if you change something on any kind of area where it is at the border of any document, you need to make the similar type of change on the other side, and it may get quite messy or problematic if you try to edit these patterns. So that was the last tip. So hopefully now you are clear in understanding the difference between the basic and the full POD lessons, and how you should get these products and what you should keep in mind while purchasing these products or downloading the freebies from this marketplace called CreativeFabrica.com. Now if you have found this video to be helpful, make sure that you like the video. It will help me with the YouTube algorithm, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. And if you have any questions regarding this video or any of my previous videos, you can ask me in the comments below, and I will try my best to answer those questions. And thank you for watching.